Hey everyone, it's Jasmine Brooks inside the control center tonight for a 21 Next. We're bringing you on a weather-worn day. We have team coverage and we want to bring on our entire team right now working on the weather coverage for you as extreme heat has totally taken over central Pennsylvania. And Rosa joins me now. Ed, you declared today a weather-worn day. What are the current temps?
Yeah, there they are, upper 90s, right around 100. So, we go, summers without getting that hot. So look at Chambersburg right now, 102. So that's not what it feels like. That's actual temperature. When you combine the humidity along with it, it feels a lot worse. So we can advance to the next graphic and show you what it feels like. This is why there's a weather worn day for today, because of the feels like temperature.
Okay.
It feels like 111 in Shrewsbury. It feels like 114 in Chambersburg. I liken it to just, you're basically walking out into a sauna, and just
wow.
You just stand there and sweat.
I want to bring in Grace with us, Ed, to play off of this because thousands have no power, which means obviously no air conditioner. And that is in Adams County after that substation fire yesterday. So Grace, fill us in on what you're working on.
Yeah, so today was more of a focus on how the community is doing. These people are now going days without electricity. They're hot, they're frustrated. I'm at one of the cooling stations right now in Littlestown. But community morale has honestly been pretty high so far. We've seen food trucks come out today, and you can see one right behind me is there. There's been a cookout that's been going on for hours where people are able to get a meal. They can walk right inside the cooling center right here and they can get water and ice and all that they need. So the situation is very unfortunate, but the community is definitely coming together and making the most of it right now.
How many people are taking advantage of that cooling center?
Oh, I would easily hundreds. We've seen hundreds coming in and out. This parking lot has been full all day long. So there's tons of people. The police chief today, he told me that they've seen more people today than yesterday. And that would make sense after the substation fire last night left even more people without power.
Can you give us a brief update on that and what we know so far?
Yeah, so the fire is definitely causing more outages across Adams County. I know Ed is actively working on it, but it is a work in progress. And they said, they're still trying to figure out what even caused the initial outage. But right now their focus is just getting people's power back on.
Okay. All right. Well, Grace, we'll let you go because I know you're busy. So thank you so much. We're also bringing in Maxine. Ed, did you want to play off of Grace? Anything you want to add to that?
Well, I think some of the worst part of these heat events, these extreme heat events, it's obviously the afternoon when it's hottest is bad, but it's at night when people can't cool down. And what do most of us do at night? We sleep. So when you throw off your sleep schedule or you get a really bad night of sleep the night before, that can actually make you more prone to heat-related illness the following day. I mean, when you don't sleep, you put your body at risk for so many things, even cardiac events when you don't sleep. Sleep does so much for your body. And when you can't sleep because of the heat, and it's hot the next day, you just have to take extra caution. It's not like you just walk out and you immediately feel heat illness in temperatures like this during the afternoon. If you can't get the proper rest at night when you need it, it could, spill over into the next day. Now, fortunately, the heat index is not going to be nearly as bad as we head into the next few days here. It's still going to be bad tomorrow, but it's going to improve significantly as we head into the upcoming weekend. But it is unbearable out there, especially for more sensitive groups.
Maxine, what are you working on today?
Yeah, well, I wanted to jump off of what Ed just said there. We're thinking about, how we're staying up at night and how this could really cause that. But what I would be staying up all night thinking about is the fact that all my food in my refrigerator is going bad really quickly, right? So people don't know what to do with that necessarily. There is a place here in Littlestown, that's where we're located right now, where people are throwing that out. But then what do you do when you have to throw all of that out? That money's gone. And so what we did today is we spoke with an expert. He's someone who works with a Q&A, or sorry, he works with a law firm. He works with, excuse me, I'm so sorry. He works with an insurance company. I have so many thoughts going on in my head right now.
Okay.
An insurance company. He talked a lot about kind of the idea of filing a claim. So you could file something called a food spoilage claim. And that's where you can actually get that money back for all of that food that you are losing from throwing all of that out. You can actually get that back. And while some people might say, okay, but that's only, $500. Some people are able to just eat that cost. Not everybody is. And so we talked a little bit about the specifics of that, what that means, what you need to know about it, and how easy it might be to actually file that claim.
Does it cost money to file a food insurance claim?
He said that some do. Actually, you have to add that to your policy. Like some places you actually have to pay for that. But he says most places in Pennsylvania that actually just comes with the homeowner's policy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a great story then. We'll look forward to figuring out how to make this claim. Thank you. Yeah.
Now that we're on this subject, I just wanted to, the next time this happens, or even now, if your power's still on, there's a risk. Yeah, it could go out later. One great thing about refrigerators is that the more you fill it, the more stable the temperature is. So if you keep your refrigerator at, say, 75% full, the temperature is going to be much more stable, and it's going to cool. It's going to heat up. Like, let's say your power went out, it's going to warm up much more slowly than it would if the refrigerator were empty. So always try to keep your refrigerator 75% full, because if the power goes out, it's going to remain a cooler temperature for a much longer period of time. And maybe you don't have enough food to fill it 75% full, but buy a case of water. That takes up space. Throw that in there. And then when your power goes out, obviously minimize the amount of times that you open it. But again, 75% is kind of that magic number. Keep it 75% full, and it's going to remain its stable, safe temperature for a much longer period of time, sometimes even 12 to 18 hours after you've lost power.
Well, my husband's going to love to hear you say that. So thank you. Okay, so Maxine, thank you. I look forward to your report. I want to bring in Alex. Alex still has another angle to the heat. This time we're talking about the SPCA with no AC. So where are you and what's the deal there?
Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Ed. So I am in Lancaster right now at the SPCA, the animal shelter that's here. And I was told by the director of the shelter that yesterday when they came in, they immediately realized there was no air conditioning. They called somebody. They figured out the HVAC system is completely broken. And it's not just a simple thing as, replacing the compressor. They need to do an entire rehaul of that HVAC unit. So everything needs to be replaced, and that takes time. So yesterday they put out a emergency announcement online saying that they need people to help foster, help adopt, at least help give these animals some temporary homes. Fortunately, what you were just looking at right there was where all the cats are. All the cats are now in Philadelphia at a different shelter. So if you're looking for a cat, they're in Philly. They're okay. These are all the pups and the dogs that we saw today. So I was told that 18 were given temporary homes yesterday or brought somewhere where they'll be comfortable. There's still 20 in the shelter right now. We saw them out a little earlier today. The shelter was, setting them up with splash pads and little ice baths. So to keep them warm, they have a temporary auxiliary unit that the city actually helped set them up with for today. But I was just told about an hour ago that it's 88 degrees inside that kennel right now. So it is very warm for those dogs.
Well, how many dogs are there that we need to get out of there?
There's 20 right now. 20 dogs.
20 dogs.
There's that little one jumping up and down there. So there's 20 dogs in there right now. They're looking ideally for people who have experience with dogs. Some of the dogs, they're also saying, if you are a family who doesn't have small children or you don't already have dogs, they're looking for those types of homes as well. They have some family-friendly dogs, but also a lot that are, a little shyer, have a little more reserve. So you can go online to Lancaster at spca.org if you want to go apply, you want to reach out to the shelter, and we'll have much more information on that for you today at 5:30, and 6.
Oh, Alex, I hope we can get 20 people. That's great. Thank you so much.
It's hard to walk out of there with that one.
I'm sure. Ed, so what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I think, it's amazing when you see people come out, the woodwork, and not just help, other people, but also our furry friends too. I mean, they're dealing with this just like we all are. So it's nice to see, it sounds like 18 people came out and helped 18 different dogs, but there's still some dogs there that could use some help and temporary adoption. And people need to know that this is, it's very temporary. It might just be for, a couple of days. It's not like you're locked in for an extended period of time. It's just until the situation's fixed.
So what about overnight temperatures, and when is this going to cool down? Is that even coming?
Yeah. So the overnight remains really warm. And again, that's kind of one of the sometimes overlooked things about these heat waves is because, when you fall into the 70s at night, I mean, last night, Harrisburg only dropped to 78. Most people keep their house at 74, 72. Some even keep it lower than that during the summer months. So that's pretty warm. And when you don't have AC, it's really hard to cool down your home, especially after a really, really hot day. But we will see temperatures, overnight lows improve somewhat as afternoon highs improve. And of course, we're also going to see an increased chance for some thunderstorms over the next few days as well. And that will almost be daily, right, as we head through the weekend into next week.
Wow.
So the worst of it is tomorrow's really going to be hot again, but it's not going to be as bad as what yesterday was and of course what today was.
Okay. All right. Well, Ed Russo, thanks so much. We'll see you live at 5, and we're going to see you hopefully live at 5 at home. Thank you for watching. This is 21 Next. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and follow us along because we'd love to fill you in on all your day's news and weather every day. I'm Jasmine Brooks. Thank you for watching.